Okay, today I'm going to be working on my 1928 Durant. So the other day when I was driving the Durant, I noticed a knock appear and it got really loud. So I stopped driving the car immediately and I had it towed home because I didn't want to cause any further damage. The engine was not misfiring or anything, but it was running on 3 cylinders because one of the pistons decided to let go of the crankshaft. So I figured this out because while I was stopped on the side of the road, I took number 3 spark plug out and I put a screwdriver in there and I cranked the crank in the front of the car until the screwdriver rose to the top, and then I kept cranking and it never went down. And so I pushed it with the screwdriver and that made the cylinder go down, or the piston go down. So I believe the piston arm, or the thing that connects the piston to the crankshaft, which I believe is the piston arm, or the connecting rod, I believe that's messed up in there. And I'm about to drop the oil pan and we're going to see. So this is the original engine in this car. It was cast, I believe, in June of 1928. There's the casting date right there. And the firing order is right there. Well, I guess let's get under the car and drain the oil, and then we're going to take the oil pan off. Oh, and look, there's my little rolly thing. I think it's called a creeper. Here are the tools we'll need to drop the oil pan. Okay, here's an update. So we're draining the oil right now. I've pulled the plug on the oil and it is draining. Okay, here we are under the car, and you can see all the stuff under here. Sorry for my poor camera skills, but I'm under the car. There's a flywheel and the clutch fingers, and the clutch plate is in there. That's the clutch right there. When you step on the clutch, it pushes that back and disengages the clutch, or the transmission. Which the transmission is right back there. That's the transmission. And your battery's right here in front of me, kind of. Oh wait, no it isn't, I lied. Yeah, it is in front of me, it's right there. It's a 6-volt battery. Okay, well let's take out these screws alongside of here and then we'll drop the oil pan and see what's going on. Okay, I had to go get a few more tools to finish taking off the crankcase because I backed out the screw heads, the flathead screws. But then there were those little hex bolt or hex nut things. I don't know exactly what they're called, but you get my point. So I had to get some of these. Okay, all the screws and nuts are off of the oil pan. You can see them all there. And here's the oil that came out of the oil pan. It doesn't look too bad. And it doesn't smell like gas. And there's no water or antifreeze in it. Okay, now we gotta pry the oil pan off. And I think I have an extra spare oil pan gasket. It's made of cork. All of the bolts on the oil pan are now loosened, but the oil pan is stuck on, so I'm going to have to pry it off. This is completely normal though. Okay, I took this little pry bar thingy-majig and hit it with a hammer, and now we've got the oil pan loose. So let's go under there and pull it off. Okay. There we go. And there's the gasket. I might be able to reuse that actually. Okay, it appears one of the pistons has dissolved. Good thing I have an extra piston at my dad's house and an extra engine for this thing. So I have to go to Dallas and get a new piston. So here is our problem. This is piston number 3, or this is where it hooks onto the crankshaft. So I knew this was probably going to be the problem, but so that destroyed itself. There's still compression in there. You can hear it. But half of this cylinder, which is made of aluminum, has destroyed itself. Let me turn on the flash. See, you can see half of it has destroyed itself on the right side. And it could have possibly scored the cylinder wall. I'll have to take a look at that. But I may pull this engine and put the other spare engine in. Sorry, water got in my mouth or something from this engine, and that was nasty. But anyway, good thing I have a spare engine. And you can see that looks like it's die cast. But that's aluminum right there. So it's softer than the cast iron engine itself. But we've got to make sure everything is true in the engine, or it could cause problems later. But it's a good thing I caught this early. So there it is. Okay, I'm discussing this with my grandma. And I have decided to go to my dad's house in Dallas. That is where the spare engine is. And I will get that and I will update y'all on part 2 with this. But it's not the end of the world. I can fix it.